So I am cracking out the sugar. It's 1 a.m. here in Scotland, and I've had about 3.5 hours sleep, and I'm up to start Dewey's 24-hour reverse readathon. Now, if I'd been smart, I'd have filmed an intro to this that didn't involve me looking bleary-eyed and still half asleep, but I'm not smart. So I'm going to start my first book on my scabby old Kindle. I'm going to kick off with Convenience Store Woman. I think I'll read for a bit while I try and wake up, and then I'll go and get some coffee. Hour 2, and I've moved to the living room with the light full on to try and wake myself up a bit. I'm about halfway through Convenience Store Women, and it's a weird one, but I think I'm liking it. So I'm gonna keep going. So, coffee number 2. And I've got about 20% left of Convenience Store Women. It's 4 in the morning. I don't think I've ever read at this time in the morning before, so this is a new adventure. And brain does not compute. I'm hoping the caffeine will help. So it's nearly 5 a.m. and I've just finished Convenience Store Women. Popular opinion time, but I'm not quite sure why that book is so hyped. I need to gather my thoughts about it, and obviously it'll be in my August wrap up, but I'm chuffed that I've already finished one book. I think I'm going to go for How to Fall Apart next, but I did manage to get a audiobook copy of The Butterfly Lampshade, so I'm going to check the weather and I might go for a wee walk and listen to some of that. I haven't decided yet, because first I'm going to freshen myself up and put some clothes on and just try and feel a bit more awake. I'm not quite sure what got into me, but I decided to take a hike up to the top of the golf course. I'm now starving and a big sweaty mess, but it's a lovely walk, and I've been listening to The Butterfly Lampshade as I've been going, and yeah, just a nice way to shake things up a bit. I saw some deer. I'm hoping the footage of that will turn out, but I'm not hopeful, but we'll see. And now I'm going to head back to get some breakfast. Give us your soul. Hunting alone. Okay, confession time. Maybe a walk at 5:30 in the morning was not a good idea because I was knackered, and I've had a couple of hours sleep So that's the kettle you can hear in the background. I'm getting more coffee, and I'm gonna probably start How to Fall Apart now. I've listened to a decent chunk of the Butterfly Lampshade, and I'm going to take a break from it just to change things up. And because I fell asleep, I think I'm going to skip my workout today. I had plans to do a workout, but I think that walk probably counts anyway, and so I'll bump today's workout to Monday instead when I've recovered from the readathon. So that probably means that I can make up some of the time that I spent snoozing. I've been taking part in the Instagram challenges for the readathon, and this is my Create a Rainbow out of book spines. I've gone with the traditional primary school version of red, yellow, pink, green, purple, orange, blue. Probably more successful than my attempt a few years ago to have a rainbow bookshelf, which never really worked out. So I've spent the last couple of hours reading a bit more of the Butterfly Lampshade and then getting stuck into How to Fall Apart. I'm getting a lot from How to Fall Apart. This is a book written by Liadan Hynes, and she's a journalist who has written extensively about her marriage ending and becoming a single mother. Her situation is different from mine. Her marriage seems to have ended quite mutually, but a lot of the feelings and struggles that she had in the aftermath I can really relate to. And it's got a lot of not out and out advice, but she's talking about the things that she did to help herself heal, and that's been really really helpful to read. The Butterfly Lampshade is a very mental health focused book. I've struggled to describe it in the past. It is in my TBR video, so I won't try and do it now off the top of my head, but I am really enjoying it. I've been listening to the audiobook version I found on Scribd, but probably at some point I will switch back to the ebook that I've got as a NetGalley, just to see if reading it in my own voice changes my experience of it. But for now, I'm gonna keep listening to it. I've got to do the captions for today's booktube video, which I kind of got a bit sidetracked from, and then I'm gonna get some lunch because I'm starving. So I've been sat out in the garden for about an hour now. It's so nice today, which is funny because it has been raining for what feels like weeks, and the sun has shined for me on the readathon. So I'm nearing the end of the Butterfly Lampshade. I'm just about to finish that off, and I'm about halfway through, maybe more. No, not even. I'm like 40% through How to Fall Apart. It's kind of coming that way. I'm getting a lot from it, but I find I've read a few kind of books in similar veins to try and help me through this time, and they do often, the women that write them have always had access to things like life coaches and meditation courses that are just, they're probably just beyond my means, but I'm still getting a lot from her take on these things, so that's good. The Butterfly Lampshade is, I think it's really powerful. I'm interested to see how it's going to wrap up. It's a really interesting take on looking at mental illness within a family. I'm really enjoying that. So I think I'll just stick with the audiobook for that one. I'm going to stick on my headphones. I think I'll move my chair out of the shade and get a bit more of the sun. And then I should maybe start thinking about dinner. I look a bit hot and bothered. I had to come back inside because the wasps had found me, the downside of late summer. But I'm glad I did, because I've just had a lovely break from reading, because my friend who has not long had a baby just popped by to drop something off. So I had a really nice chat with her in the front garden and saw her gorgeous, gorgeous little man. So that was definitely worth putting the books down for. It's just about 6 o'clock and I'm hungry, but it's only me here today. Even my oldest boy isn't in, and I cannot think what to cook for dinner. I've got nothing in the freezer that I could just defrost for one person, so I think I might just have to have a can of soup, which, considering it is Scotcho, is not the best dinner option, but at least it's quick and it means I can get back to the books.
Traveling from the deep forest into the sun, in war there's never an option to run. Oh, Geronimo, tears keep on falling, the nighttime is out.
Too hot. I think I'll let this cool down and I will start A Traveller at the Gates of Wisdom by John Boyne. So we are over halfway through hour 19. I've got myself my 5th coffee of the readathon. I'm really starting to feel tired. I think a nap might be in order if I want to make it to 1 a.m. I started A Traveller at the Gates of Wisdom. It's very far out of my comfort zone so far. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. And it's a chunker. I suspected it was, but I didn't really check before. But it's a biggie, so there's definitely no way that I will finish it before the end of the readathon. I will definitely finish How to Fall Apart, and so that'll be 3 books read from start to finish during the readathon, and I'm just really wanting to make as big a dent in this John Boyne as I can, because if I can be sneaky and push book hibernation into Sunday as well, and maybe get it finished tomorrow, then I will meet all the prompts for that readathon as well, which would be just a really nice way to round off the weekend. But we'll see, because I am flagging. So I'm going to drink the coffee And then I've got a couple of other tricks up my sleeve to maybe perk myself up, but if I get to about 10 o'clock and I'm really struggling, then I'll go for a nap for like an hour and a half or something, and then I can finish off the last hour and a half of the readathon with a book. Guys, it's nearly hour 22 and the struggle is real. I am cracking out the sugar. Empire biscuit for the win. And this this may be biscuit number 2. I don't think soup for dinner was a good idea. And we're on coffee number 6. But just don't tell me it's decaf. We're into hour 23. I never went for that nap. I'm 22% into A Traveller at the Gates of Wisdom. It's growing on me. It's clever what he's doing in this book. I'm just not sure where it's taking me. And so I think I'm going to concentrate in the final just under 2 hours, I think. Yeah, just going to use that to try and finish How to Fall Apart. And then if I've got any time left, I'll go back to the John Boyne book. And with minutes to spare, I am done. 18 hours and 46 minutes of reading. I've read 3 books in their entirety and another 22% of a fourth. I am done. So I'm just going to go and brush my teeth and then I am going to sleep. And the kids don't come back from their dad until 3 o'clock tomorrow, so I'm not even going to set an alarm, nothing, no plans, just recover. But I've had an amazing day. That's definitely the most successful readathon I've ever done, and I'm really tired. More coherent thoughts will be in my August wrap-up, where I'll include the books that I've read. Future Sarah coming at you just to finish this video off in a nicer way. I was so tired, but I slept until like 11 o'clock on Sunday and thankfully didn't have a readathon hangover. So yeah, I had a great time, and I'm really looking forward to the October readathon now. And just a wee update on my progress through Simon Savage's book Hibernation. I managed to do 7 of the 8 prompts because I didn't finish A Traveller at the Gates of Wisdom on the Sunday like I thought I might. I think I barely read 10% of it on the Sunday, and I'm still reading it just now, so that didn't get done for that readathon, but I still managed a good chunk of the prompts, and that was really fun too. I took part in putting up some things on my Instagram for it, and I'll be definitely looking out to see if Simon runs that readathon again. But if you've made it this far, you probably feel like you've done a 24-hour readathon as well, so I won't keep you any longer. But thanks for joining me. If you're new, I would love it if you subscribed. If you took part in either of the readathons, drop me a comment and let's compare notes. And until next time, bye.